Hi, good doctor, Coach Spiegel here. And you know how you are like the greatest, coolest person on the planet? And the stuff that you do is so awesome, helps out so many people. And you know how we're in the coolest profession ever? Like we get to be who we are and help those people that need our help, and we get to feel good about it. And however, what are we to do in a world that is confused by us, in a medical profession that views us as not quite real? We are the underdogs, are we not? Hence the Rocky. So how do we survive in a world that doesn't want us, with business practices that are taught to us that are decades old, and get by? That is the question. This podcast is your answer. Let's go get you lots of leads and take those leads and convert them into patients and people that are helped by your awesomeness. Let's do it. Let's do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, my awesome listener. Welcome to Game of Thrones. Ooh, hang on. Game of Thrones season, Game of Hidden Business, Money Making Secrets, Game of Thrones. In Game of Thrones episode season 7.4. Was that episode 4? That was 4, right? Okay. Wow. That was the episode we've been waiting for this entire time, weren't we, good listener? That was incredible. Did you watch it yet? First up, your assignment today is go watch it. You got to go to HBO. HBO is like its own station now. I got it on Amazon. It's like a channel you buy on Amazon for like $15 a month, and you get all of the HBO shows that you want. And Game of Thrones is on there. There's like all sorts of movies. I watched like the Batman versus Superman one last week. I don't know how you felt about that movie. I kind of liked it. I thought it was really cool action. Yeah, there was stuff, I didn't quite know, but I got entertained. I don't know. If you have the mindset to go watch a movie or go watch a television show that says, was I entertained? Okay, that's fine. That's good enough for me. Like, people spend millions and millions of dollars, hours and hours of their life to create something for us that we pay pennies for, literally pennies for, and the least we can do is appreciate it. The least we can do. Time for a quick story, then I'll jump into Game of Thrones. This one guy was a chef, and he's trained to be a chef. This is the lesson of Chef Gordon. He was the Alice in Chains and a bunch of other people's PR guy, publicity manager guy, something like that. And right now, today, it was an interview that he did with somebody. I don't remember who. Oh, Joe Polish from I Love Marketing fame. And this guy, Chef Gordon, was out to eat with Joe Polish. And, no, I'm sorry, he was telling the story to Joe Polish. He was out to eat with somebody that was a chef. And they're sitting there eating, and Chef Gordon eats into the food. And it was kind of pricey. It was kind of an expensive meal. And Chef Gordon takes a bite of it, and it's disgusting. He's like, ugh. He doesn't eat it. He eats like 2 bites of it, and he puts the rest aside. And the other guy that he's out to lunch with there, he eats his dish. They both order the exact same thing. And the other guy ate his whole entire thing. He goes, oh, you're not going to eat yours? And Chef Gordon's like, nope, go ahead. So the other guy ate it. And he didn't say anything there, but then they're leaving the restaurant. And Chef Gordon goes, wasn't it disgusting? Like, didn't you think it was disgusting? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it was totally gross. And Chef Gordon was like, why'd you eat it all then? Why'd you eat it all? And the other guy goes, as a chef, he goes, you don't understand what goes on in a chef's world. Their entire existence exists to make the eaters of their food, the ingesters of their artwork. For dinners and food and recipes, that's the chef's art. And he goes, and how they know how good they did is if people enjoy it or not. And that's all they live for. Did you enjoy it? It's like, reminds me of like grandma and mom, like they cook a great meal and they're sitting there waiting. They're so cute. They're sitting there waiting around the house for us to say something about it. You know, is it really good? Is it really delicious? And they want verification. They want acknowledgement that it was really, really good. And if nobody says anything, they're just like, oh, I guess it wasn't that good. I guess I'm not a very good mom. I guess I'm not a very good cook. And they feel bad about it. It's kind of like that, like times 5,000 for a chef who just entire existence is built around that little concept right there. Good, dear listener. So the chef says, he goes, that couple minutes of unpleasantry, eating that not very good food, he goes, that wasn't worth giving a chef a bad day. That chef was going to go home and feel bad when he comes back and he sees those plates full. All that chef cares about is coming back and those plates are empty. He goes, yes, they enjoyed it all. They ate it all. And so he goes, that wasn't worth it. Me and those couple minutes of unpleasantries, totally worth it for that chef not having a bad day. What a great perspective, right? Right, good listener? Like so much we're cruising around our life. What's best for me? How can I live in my pleasure? How can I live in my comfort? How can I take from others? I know you're not like that because you're amazing. You're fabulous. You're one of the rare ones, friend. But most people are like, if it's good for them, they'll reach out and they'll do good for others as long as it doesn't affect them, as long as they don't hurt them at all. And what a great perspective, right? So that's kind of like how I feel about movies. Like, even if it's really, really bad, like, I won't go and leave a review. I won't be like, oh, okay, that was, a couple hours. So what? I could have been doing something else, but so what? Somebody just spent hours of their life, millions of somebody's dollars in order to make that. Least we can do is, like, appreciate it. Least we can do is acknowledge it. Okay, let's get to the episode. Oh, I'm going to get fired up. Here, let's get a swig of coffee. Uno momento, por favor. Hold on, let's take a little break right now. Take a little break. After these messages, we'll be right back.
You got hard, but you fight like a goddamn ape. Nothing special about you. You never got your nose busted. Well, leave it that way, nice and pretty, and what's left of your mind.
I've been coming in for 6 years. In 6 years, you've been sticking it to me. I want to know how come.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know how come.
You want to know?
I want to know how.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker. Some cheap, second-rate loan shark.
It's a living?
It's a waste of life.
Yeah! You tell him, Mickey. You tell him what a waste he was. What if Rocky never took that message to heart? We would never had Rocky. Just like you, Doctor. Right now, there's a big waste going on in your world. You are probably not doing dinner with the doc events enough. If you are, probably not doing them as well as you should. What a waste. You want to know why? Because nobody bothered to show you a better way. That's why I created for you how to add 11 to 50 plus new patients to your practice each month, or however long you want to do a dinner. You can do one every week if you want. Go for it. What would 11 new patients a week do for your practice, do for your bottom line, do for your impact that you're going to have on this world, Doctor? The good that you're going to be sharing with people. You know that when they're under your care, how much better that they are served, how much better that they love you and appreciate you and glad that they signed up with you. Go to YoRockyMedia.com/dinner. Hey, it's totally free. We're talking super free here. No conditions, no questions asked, no opt-in, no email. You go there, free, couple $1,000 training, lay it out for you all right there. It's done a lot of great in this world, good doctor. You've done a lot already. It's about time somebody showed the same for you. It's about time you got a little going back to you. Go there. I lay it all out for you step for step how to absolutely rock your Dinner with the Doc event. And we're going to be using a crazy cool new platform that was custom made for you. Your teaching style, how you operate, how you like to impact lives. This platform that you're going to be using to fill up your Dinner with the Doc event is made just for you. You'll see when you get there. Now, let's get back to the show. Secrets. And we are back. Game of Thrones. Hidden Business. Game of Thrones. Season 7, Episode 4. This was like the episode we've been waiting for. GOT fan. Wow. Spoiler alert. Just so you know, here on out, for all these Game of Thrones episodes, they're all spoiler alerted, okay? We're going to be telling. We finally get to see that dragon do something. We finally get to see Daenerys get really... Oh, she's been cool up till forever here. But wow, we get to see her in her dragon and her bad beepery. Oh, man. Okay, number 1. How many do I got here? 7. I got 7 of them here. Secrets. Game of Thrones secrets. Number 1. Grown fond of those interest payments. So the beginning, Cersei is talking to the head of the Iron Bank guy, and she's about to pay it all back. Jaime's coming back with the gold that he got from that family, the rich family that they just beat up in a war, and he's bringing back some money. And the Iron Bank's like, oh, yeah, we've gone fond of those interest payments. We're going to miss those interest payments. This is the holy grail of a business. When you know how to set up a recurring revenue, and if there's any way, I know obviously unless it's like a payday loan or interest rate loan or some sort of loan, those interest rates are where it's at. For instance, why do you think car lots make so much money when there's cars, like there's thousands, hundreds of cars that are just sitting in the lot? Why? How can they afford to do that? Because they sell one car that's overpriced. Like they buy a discount and they sell at one price. Not only do they make money on that, but somebody's buying it usually on payments that of interest rates. That usually it's a lot of times it's the interest rate that keeps going and going and going and going and going. So I don't know anything about the car world, just to be honest with you, but I kind of wonder that's your inventory, is the car sitting there. So how can they afford to have cars sit there? And that's why right there, interest rates. So the recurring revenue model is where it's at. Subscription-based model is where it's at. If there's anything you can work into your business, good dear listener, any form of business entry that you can do to get some sort of recurring monthly revenue, that's worth it for them. Think of just how Netflix does it, how Amazon Prime just did it with Game of Thrones. Like I'm paying $15 a month just to watch Game of Thrones. And the first month goes by, tell you how most people get recurring revenue wrong, the membership wrong. I'll tell you right now. What they do is they just create like a website or like a membership and just like a whole bunch of stuff. Boof! They just barf a whole bunch of stuff in there. And then they're like, okay, $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, you get unlimited access to all this. And people jump in, they get overwhelmed, and they're like, oh, it's too much, I can't handle it. And then they leave. Or they make the mistake of not treating that subscription like a journey. So it's kind of like going the Netflix model where they jump in and they get new stuff. So it's kind of like the first month they get this stuff, and then the second month they get this stuff. Now, there is a few subscription model-based companies that are doing it really, really well in the digital world, online space world. So that are doing it pretty well. A couple businesses that somebody's paying $50 a month, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, and because they get something out of it. I don't know what's going on in your world, but we can come up with some examples later if you want. Otherwise, I'm going to jump into it. But that where Iron Bank is talking about interest rates, like that's even better. That's like one step above a recurring business model. Wow. Okay. Number 2. Bran. He's the cripple. He is now the white eyes guy. He's the one that sees it all or something like that. He gets his protector girl leaves him and is leaving him. She's like, you don't need me here anymore. We got you here. We got you home. You're safe now. And Bran goes, doesn't say anything. And she's like, don't you have anything to say? And he's like, thank you. And she's like, thank you? That's all you got to say? Thank you? My brother died for you. What's his face died for you? My brother died for you. I almost died for you. That's all you got to say is thank you. And he had something else to say. Bran's being very... I don't know about Bran this season. I'm waiting for him to, like, become worth it. I don't know about you, how you feel about that kid. But up till now, I've been immensely disappointed in him. He hasn't done anything cool. He's kind of done something cool, but, like, he's supposed to be now I bet he's going to turn pretty bad beat before long here. You just wait. He is, like, supposed to be the all-powerful one and connected to the earth, and what's his power? He's got that some sort of power. But what the lesson here in this one for you, good listener, is the fact that that's kind of how a lot of your customers are feeling, especially your longtime ones. Like, you appreciate them, and you kind of probably took them for granted. So your assignment before next week is to super show them appreciation. Do something special just for them. Show appreciation. Go buy them something that they're really nice, that they really like. Go buy them a water bottle. Go buy them a mug. Go buy them a T-shirt. Go buy them something who their favorite artist is, their favorite singer. Go buy them something with their name on it. Just say, hey, I really appreciate you being my client. Just so you know. Thank you for being there. And just to show your appreciation to them. Because probably chances are you kind of take them for granted up to now. Got to show that appreciation. And, okay, number 3, wasted on a cripple. Oh, he gave the dagger. He got the Valyrian steel dagger. And Littlefinger gave him the dagger that was supposed to kill him. And he gave that over to Bran. Littlefinger had it for the whole time. And Bran gave it to Arya, the cool little ninja girl. Who's my favorite character. Just if you must know who my favorite character. Jon Snow's pretty up there as well. Daenerys is up there as well. They're all my favorite characters. Why do we gotta choose between our favorite characters? They're all my favorite characters. You too, huh? Who's your favorite? Tyrion's up there. Tyrion, is that right? Is that the dwarf? Quick little break. Quick little swig. Anyways, that's what your strengths are, my friend. The Valyrian steel is a dagger. That's like your strengths, and chances are it's being wasted. So you're capable of like 4 things that are amazing for just you to do. Only you could do just in your business. 4 things, and chances are call it $1,000 per hour task. If you were getting paid $500 to $1,000 an hour, that's what your strength is. That's what your skill is. And right now, you're probably spending hours each day on $10 tasks. $10 tasks. So find out what your strengths are that only you could do, that's worth it to your business, that only you can do. $500 to $1,000 per hour that you are only capable of. Are you, for instance, Dr. Oz? Dr. Oz, you know how he does like 800 things? He's at his own show. He actually practices. He's actually a doctor, believe it or not. Yeah, he gets out there and he actually does surgeries. However, he doesn't sedate the client. He doesn't. He consults them. He sits them down for a consult because that's only something that he can do. But everything else, somebody else does. And then he shows up for the surgery. Somebody else does it like, think of it as like a football field. Somebody else brings the surgery to like the 80-yard line. And then he punches it in all the way to the touchdown. He finishes it only like he can. And then he goes off and does a show. Same thing with the show. He's not behind the scenes like editing. He's not behind the scenes putting in sound effects. He's not in there doing that. He's just on the show getting recorded for that hour or so. And he probably batches them up, to be honest with you, too. That's kind of how they do things. Batches them all up. But then somebody else is doing the marketing as well. I would advise that in your business, anything that's sales and marketing, you do. Get really, really good at sales and marketing. because especially when it comes down to the close, the presentation of your offer, and then going to the close, like you can do the business where it's like somebody warms them up and then you, like, who does that? Like the big long package, the closer, bring them in for the closer. Oh, they do that in timeshares, don't they? Or somebody else, does somebody bring them all the way in? Somebody lines them up, and then like somebody fills out an application or something, and then the closer calls them up, everybody that applied, and then closes them there, whoever filled out the application. So I don't know if that's worth it to do that. I would want you to get good at the selling and marketing thing, because you can't outsource that. You just can't. Even the marketing side of things, at least know what's going on in the marketing world. That way, if you do outsource it, you know if you're getting screwed over. I'm working with this one girl right now who runs her own studio, her own gym studio, and she gets calls every day from like social media experts and SEO experts, blah, 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 all that stuff. And she... All right, and we're back. So that Valerian steel, that is like your strengths. You want to make sure your strengths are not wasted on doing things that... Why would you go from good to be really bad at something to go from really bad to just good, like a little bit good? Whereas your strengths, you're going from great at your strengths to extremely, extremely, really awesomely great. Which one would you rather do? Something that's going to make you $500 an hour, or to bother yourself down? And the reason people do that, go from like really bad to just good, is they don't want to spend the money to go elsewhere. And that's why you need to focus on your strengths. Focus on what, unless like that little stuff is enjoyable for you, it's fun for you, and it's not seen too much as a work. And do that for your business. That was number 3. Number 4, secrets. Give me your own secrets. Business, money-making secrets. Isn't, who said this? Daenerys said this to Jon Snow. Isn't your survival more important than your pride? She was asking him to take the knee. I do believe that she asked Jon Snow that. Daenerys is like, so quote-worthy. Wow, we could have an entire book about Daenerys' brilliance. And if she was to start her own business, Daenerys would be like unstoppable, changing the world. She just so happens she decided that she's going to rule the world, not just run a business. So amazing. She's so amazing. Isn't your survival more important than your pride? So there's certain things that are prideful, like, it's beneath me, I don't want to do that. And that we should probably do to survive. For instance, let's say money's a little tight, and you might have to take jobs that, let's say you're not doing so well, and you need to take a job. Remember the last recession we had? And people are like, oh, there's no more jobs. And meanwhile, we're driving by shops. They're saying, no hiring. And then so it's like, oh, wait. So there are jobs. There's just no jobs that you're willing to go down towards. So sometimes we got to put our pride, our ego aside just to pay some bills, just to survive, just to get by. Okay? Keep that in mind as we go about your life, as you go about doing things. Oh, I don't do that. That's beneath me. You'll know it when it's your pride. You'll know it when it's your ego, because it's probably something that you probably should do, but it's like, oh, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to cold call. I'm too good for cold calling. I'm too good to go around pass out flyers. Whatever it is. Whatever it is in your life that you feel like is beneath you. And it could be in your business itself, or it could be in your just taking a job in general. Just doing something on the side. I've taken so many side jobs just to like help pay the bills. I probably shouldn't have done that, to be honest with you. I probably should have. Oh, it's a long story. We won't talk about myself there on that front. Number 5. All right, I forget the name of the girl. She's sword fighting with her squire. That she's that tall chick, that tall warrior chick that was able to beat the one guy. You know what I'm talking about. What's her name? She's really tall, and she's a really good warrior. And I don't think she's a lot of people's favorite character. She was actually in Star Wars Force Awakens. She was actually one of the stormtrooper girls. Stormtroopers. She was like one of the elite stormtroopers. Star Wars Force Awakens. But she was in like a helmet the whole time, so nobody knew it was her. And I forget how I knew that was her. I forget how that happened. Anyways, she's working out and she's training, and that's when Arya comes in, and they do that was an amazing battle there. They're both kind of fighting each other, and Arya does amazing, awesome stuff. Cool moves in that one. And she always asks, "Where did you learn how to do that?" And Arya's like, "From no one." And she meant it. That's who she really did learn it from. And the lesson here, my good dear listener, is always be training. Always be learning. Never rest on your laurels. There's certain skills in your business that like you probably should still let it be your business, like still work on. For instance, my very first month of being a personal trainer, and it's where I first learned that, just knowing what sets and reps and what exercises to do, that's like a small part of it. I got to learn about selling, become a salesperson. I was actually in like a selling seminar, and it was like a total light bulb moment. It was a total like, aha. I'm like, what? I got to get good at selling? What? My credentials don't speak for themselves. I got to learn how to sell? But I wanted to be a success as a personal trainer, so I was starting to read a book, and this is where I fell down. This is where I didn't follow through and continue to do it. But I read a book and went and didn't finish reading a book, and that was it. I never practiced my selling skills, and my career as a personal trainer highly, highly got affected. I wasn't even nearly close to the impact that I wanted as a personal trainer because I was never very good at selling. I couldn't sell. And I remember the very first time I was like reading a sales book that I never finished, that I never read another sales book, but this is in my internship when I was reading the sales book because I was like, I guess I got to get good at the selling part. And so as I was getting good at not getting good at the selling part, but I was reading a book, my manager comes up and I'm like, hey, thank you for that. He just gave a lesson, a speech about how to be a good seller. And this is where that was like my total light bulb moment. Like, oh man, I didn't even think about that. That part of being a personal trainer, holy cow, which is actually probably 80-90% of being a success is how good are you at the selling part, to be honest with you, in the business. Being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, how good it can sell. Sometimes your business lends itself to the fact that you don't really have to sell. You just got to be there when, like, let's say going back to HVAC's world where their air conditioner breaks down. So at that point, you got to be good at selling, but it's like if their HVAC breaks down, they're just going to want to have somebody repair it. And you just got to be there at the right time in order to do that. I can show you all that. I'll teach you all about that later. Don't worry, good listener. So what happening was I was reading this book, and I told my manager that, have you read this book? This is a really good book on selling. And he goes, yeah, I've never read this one, but he goes, the important thing is it's like a skill. It's like being good at something, and then you got to continue to get good at it. And it's like working a muscle. Like if you work a muscle and then you don't work it for months after months, like it goes and atrophies. Same thing with the selling skill. You got to continue to work at it. It's not like you just learn it once and then it goes away. Kind of like learning to play an instrument. Like you play it and then you get better and better and better at playing it. But as soon as you stop playing it for months, it's going to be a little bit rusty going back into it. A little bit of rust. So he goes, that's what it is kind of with the selling skills. It's a skill that you got to continue to hone, continue to work at. And then I never took that lesson to heart. That was my mistake. I never abided by that lessons. But same thing with that tall chick and fighting Arya. Like they're continuing practicing. They're not just like, yep, I learned it. Now I got it. So always be training. Always be leveling up. Always be practicing those essential skills, okay? Just like there. Woo! 2 more to go. Arya. Okay. This is so cool. If you watch that battle with Arya, if you notice there's 2 very contrasting styles between the way the tall, strong chick was fighting and then Arya. Arya was quick and agile. She had I forget her sword's name, was like Needle or something. And she was very, very dangerous with that sword. She probably could have taken out that tall chick. And that's what it is being a small business owner like yourself, not being part of a huge organization. Let's take Amazon, for example. Amazon wants to move. If they go to Amazon's website, and they have a logo, or they have a phrase, or they have a picture, and they want to move that picture over 1 millimeter from where it is, they want to change one little thing on their website, they got to have a meeting about it. They got to have a meeting about the meeting. They got to okay it with their manager. They got to okay it with their manager's manager. They got to have another meeting, okay it there. And they just got to go through step and barrage after barrage. It's like a very slow-moving process. When you're a small business owner and you're like, it's kind of like you and some assistants, or mainly you and some employees, and you kind of know what's going on throughout it all, and so you got aces in their places. You want to change one thing, and you can change it today. You're like, yep, I'm going to change that word on the ad. I'm going to change that headline over to this. I'm going to change that one thing on my lead magnet, on my opt-in form on my website. I'm going to change how we're going to present our package. I'm going to change, instead of systems after system after systems. I heard about this one story in the chiropractor world where this guy, he became part of a franchise as a chiropractor. He decided to go the franchise route, and he became a franchisee, and he had to wear a uniform. He had to wear, like, everything like this, and the office had to look just like how the franchise decided it was going to do, and makes sense. That's how they conduct things. And this chiropractor graduated chiropractic school with so many dreams and so many grandeurs and so much plans, and he goes about a couple months into being a franchisee, he felt nothing like that. He felt like an employee. He felt like a tool, and he wanted to change one thing. I forget what he was talking about, but he was like, there's one thing that he wanted to change on the website. He changed it, like some words around, and he got a cease and desist. Is it? Cease and what? Oh, why can't I think of that else word? Cease and desist? Desist? Is that it? Cease and desist? Letter from the franchise saying, don't do that. You do that, we're gonna pull out some laws on you. We're going to sue you if you do that. Got a letter from his franchise saying change that. And he was miserable, listener. Ah! So take that to heart. Be thankful for the advantage that you have by being small, by being quick, by being agile. Something's not working, you can change it right away. You take out a Facebook ad for your experience, for your event, for your lead magnet, for your opt-in, for whatever it is. You take out an ad on Facebook for it, and it's not working after 2 days. You already spent like $20, $30 and it's not working. You can change it that day. You can stop that ad right there. And you can actually go back, why isn't it changing? And you got to talk to your ad guy. You got to talk to me why it's not working. I'll give you some feedback. We'll break it down, probably what's going on. But as far as changing it, it's up to you if you want to change it. Versus a huge corporation with like thousands of employees and red tape up the wazoo. I'd rather be in our boat, wouldn't you? I know, right? Number 7, your last one, freedom. Freedom. So that servant lady to Daenerys, she's talking to Jon Snow. I think Jon Snow, right? Talking to Jon Snow. And she's freed. Daenerys freed her. I got a story for you. I got a good story for you. It reminds me of Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln's story, if you've never heard about this one. Today's episode is worth it for this one story alone right here. The value of freedom. So, how it happened in Game of Thrones is Daenerys freed that one slave. She was like the translator girl, super smart servant type of girl, and she freed her. And this lady could have gone off and done whatever she wanted, but she decided to stay with Daenerys and help out Daenerys on her mission, on her cause. This is what happens when you let somebody choose their own life and you actually have their best interest in heart, but you let them make their own decision for them. You don't force them into a decision. So this reminds me of a story with Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln was a slave. He was a slave owner for a little bit. I don't know if you're familiar with this story. He went to a slave auction, and there's a bunch of slaves for sale there. And he picked out one slave girl. This one little slave girl. She was like in her mid-teens or something like that, 15, 16. And he got in a nice little battle, little auctioneer battle back and forth with this one guy. And Abe Lincoln ended up winning. He ended up winning the slave. And so this slave girl is not very trusting of Abe Lincoln. She's looking at Abe Lincoln and she's feeling very, very scared. Scared. That's what it's called. So afraid. It's scared. She's very, very scared for her safety. She's not trusting Abe Lincoln. Could have been the tall hat. Could have been the fact that he was like really, really 6 feet tall. I think he was taller than that, wasn't he? Maybe she didn't like his face. Either or. She was not trusting him. She was fighting, kicking, and screaming. Abe Lincoln was trying to take her away from the slave auction, and he's in the horse and buggy or whatever they had back in the day there, and they get a little ways away. They cross into the border, and she's fighting, kicking, and screaming, no, 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 no. Very untrusting of it. Good old Abe Lincoln. And they finally cross in the border, I think one of the freed states. This is either during the Civil War or right before, I don't know. And he gets out and he takes out the keys, and again she's fighting, kicking, screaming, no, no, no. He takes out the keys and he unshackles her. Drops them to the ground. Says, you're free. And she's like, what? What do you mean? Yeah, you're free. That's what he says. What? Yeah, you can go. What do you mean I can go? I bought your freedom. And then he lines up like I don't know if it was like the Underground Railroad. Okay, go here, go here, go here. Somebody's going to meet you over there. Da, 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 all that. I don't know if that was what's going on, or he just says, yeah, you're free, you can go. And gave her some money or something like that. And she's like, you mean I can go? I can be free? Now, there's a couple more left. I think she asked a couple questions. She goes, I could do whatever I want. He goes, yep. I can be whoever I want. Yep. She goes, can I come with you? Is that cool? When you give someone choice, when you give someone freedom, and all of a sudden they're like, I can do whatever I want. And then they do the deduction, be like, I'm probably best off with whoever it was that gave me my freedom. Because now I can trust them. Now I know what's going on. So that's what it is with you and your business freedom. Don't be forcing any of your clients into anything, customers into anything. Let them make the choices on their own. Let them know. This has to do with parenting. Let the kids make their own choices. Let them do what they feel is best and be in support of that. But whenever you're forcing, the natural instinct is to rebel. This has to do with your employees. It has to do with, just like Daenerys did with that servant girl. And this has to do with like attracting people to your cause that most believe in your cause. Just like Daenerys had a dream, and that one translator girl, even though she was free, she could do whatever she wanted. She was freed by Daenerys. She decided to go with Daenerys. She's in support of her mission. She decided like that's for the best, doing the most good upon this earth, even the small part that she could have a part of. She could be a team member on Daenerys, Team Daenerys. Woo! Good talk today, good listener. Good talk. You got some moves to sift through, 1 through 7, and implement that into your business. Go watch that episode if you haven't watched it yet. Maybe go get Amazon Prime and do that. $15 a month, and go watch that. And now with these business secrets in your brain, be like, oh yeah. And now these business secrets, because now they're involved, these secrets are unfolding before you in the form of a story. So they're going to be even more easier to remember and to incorporate into your world. You're so awesome. Wish you the best. Know that you're the great one. You're the awesome one. that there's much more greatness and goodness that's befalling you upon this earth. You have not to do nothing but be brave and go after it, to fight that darkness, to fight that fear, and carry on with that love and care and courage that's in your heart. Go get them from here, awesome one. That's right, Doctor. One step at a time. One step at a time, one punch at a time, one patient at a time. Hopefully you're not punching your patients. They don't like it when you do that. You are one step at a time getting closer to changing the world, changing your community first, helping out somebody one patient at a time. If you want to take one big giant step at a time, dude, dinner with the docs are where they are at. As far as getting the biggest bang for your buck, as far as your efforts, as far as you drumming up lots of new patients, you becoming the supreme authority in your area for all things health and wellness based, and then turning those people that are now seeing you much more than just a chiropractor, actually seeing you as a health wellness advocate. Dinner with the doc is where it's at, and I outlined for you a step-by-step process that you can go on your own to rock your Dinner with the Doc event. Totally free, no opt-in, no email exchange, no thingy, give me something and then I'll give you this free amazing, valuable information. Nope. I just want you to have it just so that you can get benefited, and that just so you can, dude, you might need this for your practice. Maybe it's a bad time for you. Maybe you're just kind of stalling a little bit, or maybe you're just uncomfortable. Maybe you're just haven't punched through the next level, and this is like a atom bomb, nuclear bomb. I don't want to bring up militaristic war terms with this, but as far as like how powerful those Dinner with the Docs are, they're just, wow, they just do the job. And specifically, you've probably been filling them up with referrals. To be honest with you, that's probably what you've been doing, and that's only taking you so far. So I show you how to go to your cold market, to people that never heard of you, don't even know that you exist, and get them rocking with you and get their lives turned over. So go to yorockymedia.com/dinner. DINNER, dinner. So I call it Dinner with the Docs. Growing up, we called it supper. And so all of a sudden I became an adult, and the rest of the world's calling it dinner. And I grew up calling it supper. And it doesn't quite have the same ring to it, does it? Supper with the Doc. So hopefully you call it Dinner with the Docs. Otherwise, yeah, go there. Dude, it's totally laid out there. You're going to end up there, and you're going to get asked a question. You're going to say, do you want to read this? Do you want to watch this? And then some people like to hear it. Some people like to read it. Some people like to watch it. So you go there, and it's totally free laid out for you that you can go on your own. And just, it's something that somebody else would probably charge $1,000 for, $1,000 to $2,000 for. I've seen other people, funnel experts, marketing experts, expert, fill the blank guru, Facebook ads expert. I've seen all of them charge $1,000 for it. Straight up, right on their sales page, $1,000. And I laid it all out for you because I don't want you to decide to become my client, and then or for you to get that sort of training. Like that's not fair. Like this could probably rescue your business if you implement it, if you put it into your world right now. So just go there, yorockymedia.com/dinner. Otherwise, it's right in the show notes there, doctor. And one step at a time, one patient at a time, one Dinner with the Doc at a time event. Your entire landscape of your practice, the entire landscape of how you're viewed in your community is going to change for the better. And you're going to follow through on this purpose that you've been given. you're going to follow through on this, on your gifts, your immense talent and gifts that you've been given. So we'll see you there, Doc. Wish you well. You take care. Bye for now. Mwah.